Hey gang, it's Will from Tested. I'm at ChefSteps with Grant again. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Now we've done so far a couple of really practical things.
Yeah.
And showed some stuff that people can do at home. Today we're going to do something a little bit more out there, but still not too far. I mean, I have everything I think I need to do. Looking at what's on the table, I think I could probably do this at my house.
Yeah, and there's a couple shortcuts that we can talk about as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think basically anybody can do this, with the exception of having a whipping siphon.
So a whipping siphon, we should probably explain what that is.
Yeah. Put cream and sugar in, charge it with a little nitrogen charge, pressurizes it. When it gets squeezed out the nozzle, the whipped cream's whipped.
And it's basically replicating the ready whip can, but you can refill and put whatever you want in there.
Any flavors, any type of textures or liquids. We use them for hollandaise. We make amazing hollandaise. We make these really epic root beer floats that we poach in liquid nitrogen.
Oh, cool.
Fizzy strawberry soda, homemade Coca-Cola, all sorts of cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're not going to use it for whipped cream today. You have something a little different planned, I think.
Yeah, so we have this thing we called Aerated Sorbet. It's basically a really nice formula and technique for making any flavor. Today we're going to make sour green apple.
Okay.
And what it is taking some really bright flavors, really bright juices. You can do it with any fruit juice, vegetable juice, wine, champagne, something like that.
Okay, so where do we start?
First thing we do for this recipe, we're going to do sour green apples. We start with green apples. We leave the peels on because we want to have nice sour, tangy flavor, and a lot of that green apple punch is in the peel.
And these are just Granny Smiths?
Granny Smiths, yeah, nice, hard, ripe ones. Those get ran through the juicer.
Okay.
And we strain it just through a little chinois or a little sieve.
Okay.
And you get fresh green apple juice.
Perfect.
When we do the green apple juice, since we want it to stay green, if we leave it alone, it'll turn brown because there's little enzymes in the apple.
Just like the apple would.
Just like an apple would. And when you cut it open, it's going to turn brown. So we add a little bit of ascorbic acid in it.
Okay.
You can add a little bit of citric acid or something like that.
Lemon juice.
Lemon juice, same thing. You can just squeeze some lemon juice in there. It's fine. And that way it's going to stay nice and green.
Okay.
When we make it into a foam later, because it's a foam, it's going to be white, really bright white. From there, we want to thicken it into a foam. So we add a little bit of egg white, and that helps aerate it. We add a little bit of gelatin. You can add pectin too, if you don't want to have gelatin. And that's going to help the foam set.
Okay.
And then it goes in the freezer, and then we kind of break it apart and serve it from there.
Like in the freezer on a tray or something like that?
So what we do is, I'll walk you through it real quick. Here's the whipped cream siphon we were talking about.
Okay.
Once we have our nice stable foam, we dump it all in a blender, by the way. So the apple juice, the gelatin, the egg white goes into a blender, so you have this nice kind of frothy mix. Pour it into the siphon. Throw the lid on, one of these guys.
Okay.
Lid's nice and tight. You put a charge in. It's just nitrogen gas, super clean gas. Builds up a lot of pressure, and it comes out as foam.
Okay.
Yep. So we put them in the mason jars because they seal. So once you fill it up and you get a lid on, it kind of pulls a vacuum. So as the foam wants to kind of collapse, it kind of pulls the lid shut, so it suspends the foam.
Okay.
And recommend so you're not frustrated, is starting with these new lids, you know?
Right.
When they get old, they get a little hard to work with.
You shouldn't reuse the lids on your mason jars, right?
Yeah.
That's what my grandmother always told me.
Well, we do sometimes, but it is easier to just start with a nice fresh one.
Okay.
They're cheap, you know, these are 10 cents a piece.
Yeah.
So you squirt our foam in here. We take it to one step further because we want the lightest, most bright flavor we can get. So you get a nice big chunk of this, kind of looks like styrofoam. It's really whimsical. It just disappears in your mouth. So it's already airy, a lot of volume to it, but we put it in our vacuum machine, which expands it further.
Okay.
So we get a lot more air volume in there. The only thing that's going to do is give you bigger air bubbles. It goes from looking like a dense styrofoam to looking like a meteorite or something. You know, it's got big random bubbles in it.
Big pumice thing.
Yep,
with it. Yeah.
Yep. But you don't have to do that. You can just make the recipe, put it in a siphon, put it in the jar, and pop it in the freezer. And you're going to put it in probably overnight.
So theoretically, everything you have here, minus the siphon, which is what, 100 or 150 bucks, depending on which one you get,
you can
and
get
which size you
too,
get.
but yep.
Do you want to? This is a 1 liter capacity.
This is a 1 liter siphon that you can basically use for anything. We use ISI ones. I just like those ones the best. They're just nice quality seals and gaskets. It goes back to the equipment thing. If you want to save money and you end up getting the cheap one, sometimes it's a little frustrating because you got crappy gaskets and the valves don't work quite
and with
right.
these you can replace almost everything on.
Every little
goes
part.
Wrong, which is
great.
Great.
And once you have one, the parts, the gaskets, little springs, they're $1 or $2 a piece. You know, they're really cheap. The charges, if you're ever going to get into using one of these, I actually do recommend getting a nicer quality charge.
You want to use a food charge, right?
Yeah, and it's not like the gas is any different, but the way they process it, like sometimes there can be mechanical oils in them. If you get some cheap ones from a factory that make them for BB guns or something, and they can actually have a little funky smell and flavor to them.
You don't want the mechanical oil in your food.
Just get the food ones. They're just a little bit more expensive, and they're a lot nicer
and
to
you
use.
can get a 30-pack for like $20 or something like that. They're not expensive.
Yeah.
If people want to know the full process and want to do this themselves, you guys have the videos on ChefSteps, and they're on YouTube as well.
Yep.
But we have obviously already prepared, ready to go.
So where we're at here is we made the foam, charged it, we probably put 2 charges in here.
Okay.
One of the other reasons why we like the ones that are a little more expensive, they're stainless. The aluminum ones, you start to, like I probably wouldn't want to put this recipe in an aluminum one because there's so much acid from either the lemon or ascorbic that you get that reaction from the aluminum. So what we do is, because it's gelatin, you can give it a little taste here. Oh. I'll have the rest.
Oh man, that tastes like, this is super apple flavor.
Right.
Yeah.
So just fresh green apples, and when you add a little bit of malic acid, which is the acid from stone fruits, plums and apples and pears and peaches. So once you have that, which again you can get on Amazon, you don't have to add that, you can just add lemon juice. But we really like to have that punchy apple flavor, so we add malic acid, which is what gives it that sharpness. But this can just hang out in the fridge a day or 2 or 3 until you're ready to use it. You just want it to be cold because you want that gelatin to set. So what you're gonna do is fill this jar up. See, it looks like shaving cream or something.
That is a noise.
Yep. So if I didn't have a vacuum machine, I would just fill it all the way to the top, put it in the freezer.
Okay.
And that's it.
But we have the vacuum machine
We have
right
a vacuum
behind us.
machine.
This is a badass vacuum machine.
Yeah, I love this guy. So we've got our nice little apple base here. Put it in the jar. You don't want to tighten down the lid. You just like you're canning, you just want it finger tight.
Okay.
Just enough to where it's on.
Just to kind of hold the lid on.
Yep, because you want all the air to get out of the jar and then the seal to set when you actually release the vacuum.
Okay.
So we're gonna close it. Pull a vacuum.
Oh wow.
And you can see it expanding. And I pull it to where it just starts to come out. You can see it coming out some of the edges. That way you have a nice flat top, nice seal. And you can see it suck down. And we're nice and sealed here. So this foam will just stay like this.
Wow, huge bubbles.
Yep, and I put it in the freezer and that's that.
And then you'll take it out and chip it apart, and that's a dish.
Yep, that's a dish.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a quick 24 hours.
Yep. But we have our nice, see if you can see it on the inside. See the nice little air bubbles?
Oh yeah.
It's frozen. So all we do, take that guy off, and this is frozen. You can use a knife or you can grab it with your fingernails.
It's just like a normal canning situation, right?
Pop that guy off.
Oh man.
And we have nice frozen foam inside.
So is this is pretty solid.
Yep.
How are we gonna get it out?
It's pretty crude. I just grab the jar, cut.
This is not a special knife. That's just a paring knife.
It's like
whatever.
a $5 little knife from, I don't know, wherever down the street. So, once I have this guy, what I would do if I was gonna make these at home, or whenever we have like a dinner or something like that, I put these on a tray and put them back in the freezer.
Ah, the frozen pieces?
Yep.
Okay.
So I kind of chop them up to where it's kind of looks like natural little rocks or something.
And you had these guys in your deep freeze, but if you're at home, normal freezer will keep it solid?
Normal freezer will keep it solid. It'll be solid, but less cold, so it'll heat up faster, so you gotta work with it quick.
So you gotta be speedy.
If you have liquid nitrogen, I totally recommend using it.
And just to be clear, you can get liquid nitrogen if you have a friendly welding shop.
Yep.
You can take your styrofoam cooler down, or a Dewar's a few $100 on Amazon at this point.
Yeah, any city these days has these nice gas or welding supply shops. And once you have a Dewar, it's dirt cheap stuff.
Yeah, Air Gas
Buck a
will sell
liter or
you.
something.
For $20 you can fill a 5-liter Dewar, no problem.
Nice. So I'm gonna pop these guys in here so they're staying cool. It's nice and hot in here. Again, if I was at home, I would just keep a tray in the freezer, pop them on the tray, throw them back in the freezer. And whenever I wanted to serve them, I would pull them out. They're ready to go.
Okay.
So what you wouldn't want to do here though is take one and eat one.
No, obviously.
Those cores are, yeah. Don't do it. This is secret level 11. Here, that's pretty sour. You can just, don't start that.
This is some real Scarface stuff here. Wow.
And what we do is just peel the green apples. We take those peels, throw them in the liquid nitrogen, just so they're brittle. That's the only reason we're freezing them, so we can get them into a powder. Otherwise, it's just, you'll be chopping forever. You'll make a puree before you make a powder. So we take those green apple peels, we add a little bit of malic acid and a little bit of fructose.
Okay.
Just so you have a little bit of sweet and sour that brings out all that nice potent apple flavor, because there's a little bit of essential oil in the peel that needs to come out.
You need something to help give it a little bit of a boost.
Carry it, yep.
Okay.
So those peels go in the freezer, or in the liquid nitrogen, we blitz it into a little powder, and I just dust, whenever we serve these, put them in a little dish or whatever, and I just serve a little bit.
Just to kick it up a notch?
Yep.
That's trademarked, I think.
You don't want to eat this one right now. Just showing you, this thing is going to have a little bit of liquid nitrogen. Anytime you have that much fog, it's a good sign that there's liquid nitrogen in there.
Okay.
So what we do is we take these, put them on a tray, put them on a plate, put them in the freezer, and just kind of let the liquid nitrogen go away.
Okay.
And whenever you want to eat them, they're ready to go right out of the freezer.
Good. It's generally recommended not to ingest liquid nitrogen.
Ever.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no point. Don't do it.
You wouldn't drink fryer oil. You're
Yeah.
not going to drink liquid nitrogen.
Yep. Don't do it. I'm going to give you a little more
Okay. Yeah. Hit me.
sourness. Try that guy.
No fog.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A little bit in there.
Wow.
Really bright, really tangy.
It tastes like I remember apples coming right off the tree and then it just disappears.
Yeah.
That is delicious.
Love these. Here.
And then it's gone. Like poof.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, so we've actually done some really fun dishes with these before, where we take all the local berries, we make a batch with each berry, and then we serve it with like powdered milk or frozen shaved milk or something. So it's kind of like berries and cream.
Like creamsicle. Or,
oh man, yeah,
that's awesome.
It's so beautiful. It's so delicious.
And this will work with anything. You said at the beginning you can do this with anything you can get juice out of.
Yep.
Have you tried savory stuff? Like beets and stuff like that, or not so much?
I haven't tried any savory stuff. There's no reason why it wouldn't work. Wine, we've done red wine. It's as sweet as the glucose is, which isn't very sweet, you know? So there's no reason why it won't work for pretty much anything.
This green apple peel powder is a delightful thing on its own.
Yeah, I just love it. I think the main reason why I haven't done much savory stuff is it's actually this is one of the things that's so great about this. If you were to melt this down, it's like a couple milliliters, it's mostly air. So whatever the flavor is, it has to be so potent and so bright. Otherwise, you're actually not going to get a lot of flavor going.
Nothing will come out of it.
Yeah.
Very
so this
cool.
is, usually if it's a little dinner or something, you'll get it served to you like this.
Grant, thank you so much for bringing us up. This is absolutely gorgeous, and it's a flavor unlike anything I've had before. Like I said, it feels like you pick the green apple right off the tree and just kind of chomp into it.
Awesome.
And then it disappears.
Yeah.
If people want to know more, best place to find you all is chefsteps.com.
ChefSteps.com, yep. All the recipes that we're talking about here. This guy, the green apple sorbet, that's there. It's a really fun site, really beautiful place to be.
We'll have more on Tested soon. See you guys later.